Yes, my dear student, most welcome you all here in the class. I am going to give a lecture on an elementary school classroom in a slum. Slum area, I think you know that the outskirt area are the area which is found in dirty location. The people are also very poor there. There is no proper water supply, there is no proper drainage, there is no proper roads, and everywhere you will find the dump accumulated here and there, and extremely poor people have been living there in the slum area, that is known as slum area. Now, in order to remove slum area, our government is anxious about it, the government is worried about it, the government wants that each and every area should be neat and clean, so that each and every citizen of the nation must enjoy the perfect life. As for example, the good source of earning, good source of education, good source of living standard, and at least they should live a pleasurable life, a pleasant life. Here, though I am not advocating the government here, in spite of it, the Prime Minister and the government is giving an aid to the poor people for their housings and for their food managing. Now here, as for the chapter is, it is composed by Stephen Spender, an English poet and essayist. He was born in 1909 and was died in 1995. He has declared himself to be a socialist and a pacifist. Actually, the socialist, the one who serves the society, do for the society, struggle for the society, and raise the issues of society to the government, highlights the problems of the poor people, that also they should enjoy their right. Therefore, as he has joined politics, he has observed many more, he has seen the things very clearly, and then after he decides to himself that he should be a socialist. He likes that one thing and he enjoys in it. Pacifist, that there should not be any cruelty done between them. He wants to prevail peace, calm atmosphere everywhere. As we see the theme of the poem is totally based on the theme social injustice and class inequalities. Class inequalities, class, that is here, the class refer to the race, class equality, the race of rich and poor. The poet is not talking about the racial discrimination. The poet is talking about the class, that is the race. What kind of race it is? There are two types of race, there are two types of world, that is the rich and the poor. The whole community has been divided into two parts, and the poor people are not getting proper opportunities, and they are not equal to the rich people. They are not equal to the rich people. They have been enjoying their life, but not in the such a way as the rich people are enjoying their lives. So, social injustice and social injustice, now they are not justified, and it is unjust that the society has been enjoying. They are not getting proper rights, they are not using their fundamental rights, they don't have any idea about it. So, the poet has got a painful mind here to describe about the poem. Now, let us see what the poet has been describing. Actually, just after in the civil rights movement in America, we see this type of things. The poet depicts the miserable condition of the poor people, those have been living in the slum. Miserable condition, that is the poor condition of the children and the people of the slum area. Those who are living in slum area, they have not been getting adequate facility of education. They are getting inadequate facility of education. It means the schools whatever located in the slum area is not proper. Even the teachers, the location, the atmosphere, and basically the physical, mental condition and status of the children, they have been found suffering because of different kinds of ailments, as they have been suffering from the arthritis, goutyre, dropped bodies, that is the little bodies, twisted bodies they have been getting the disease from their fathers, they have been inheriting the disease from their father. कहने का सेंस ये है कि पोएट ने सोशल इनजस्टिस और क्लास इनइक्वालिटीज़ को अपना थीम बनाया, अपना पोएम का उद्देश्य बनाया है कि समाज में हमारे कुछ ऐसे भी लोग रहते हैं जो लोग बहुत ही पुअर हैं, पॉवर्टी लाइन से नीचे भी हैं, और इनके साथ न्याय नहीं हो रहा है, इनके साथ हमेशा अन्याय हो रहा है, और इनको उस बराबर का दर्जा नहीं मिल रहा है जो रिच पीपल इस बराबर का दर्जा पा रहे हैं। तो उन्होंने इसी वजह से ये सारी चीज़ों को एक सोशलिस्ट का काम किया, एक समाज सेवक का काम किया, एंड देन आफ्टर ही वांट्स टू मेंटेन काम, पीस एंड ऑर्डर एवरीवेयर इन द कंट्री। Nowadays, therefore, they are devoid of, that is the denial of opportunities. अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ किस तरह का? व्हाट इज़ द डिनाइल ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज़? कि माने इनको प्रॉपर एजुकेशन की व्यवस्था नहीं दी जा रही है, अर्थात इनके स्कूल्स में वो व्यवस्थाएं नहीं हैं जो व्यवस्थाएं एक शहर के स्कूल में होती हैं, एक अच्छे स्थान के स्कूल में होती हैं, जो कल्चर्ड एरिया होता है। यहाँ तो बच्चे भूख से तड़फ रहे हैं, यहाँ तो बच्चे गरीबी से जूझ रहे हैं, यहाँ तो बच्चे अपने माता पिता के द्वारा जो प्राप्त बीमारियाँ हैं उसी से झेल रहे हैं, उसी को ले रहे हैं। कहने का सेंस है कि लेगेसी एक वर्ड होता है। नाउ द रिच पीपल गेट द प्रॉपर्टी फ्रॉम देयर फादर्स, फ्रॉम देयर फोर फादर्स इन द फॉर्म ऑफ लेगेसी। जैसे लेगेसी का सेंस ये होता है कि जो प्रॉपर्टी हमारे माता पिता के नाम की है उस प्रॉपर्टी को उनके बाद मेरे नाम होती है या हो जाती है। दिस इज़ द सिस्टम। लेकिन यहाँ क्या, यहाँ तो प्रॉपर्टी के नाम पर तो कुछ नहीं है, और नहीं तो जो इन बच्चों के माता पिता गरीबी झेल रहे हैं, यही गरीबी इनको भी नसीब हो रही है। जो बीमारी उनके माता पिता झेल रहे हैं, बच्चे भी इसी को ले पा रहे हैं, यानी कि ऑटोमेटिकली उनके पास ट्रांसफ़र हो जा रही है। तो इस तरह से ये पोयम अभी आपने यू हैव रेड द इन माय प्रीवियस वीडियोस अबाउट लास्ट स्प्रिंग, द स्टोरीज ऑफ स्टोलन चाइल्डहुड। नाउ इन द सेम कंटिन्यूएशन this chapter is also, the poem has also been highlighting the same condition of the story of stolen childhood, last spring। बच्चों का यहाँ स्प्रिंग लास्ट हो जा रहा है, बच्चों का पूरा क्रीम समय बर्बाद हो जा रहा है। तो ये किस तरह से अपना जीवन यापन कर रहे हैं, किस तरह से ये स्कूल में अपने आप को एडजस्ट कर रहे हैं, किस तरह से स्कूल के सब्जेक्ट को ये पढ़ रहे हैं, पोएट ने क्या देखा और इनके ऊपर किस तरह की चीज़ें लिखा, और पोएट ने क्या मैसेज दिया। What the message has poet given? The poet has given that the government and the authorities and the rich persons should take care of these poor children. They should be facilitated proper education, better education, so that they can be able to make their own history. अगर हम एजुकेशन सिस्टम को स्ट्रॉन्ग रखते हैं तो हम अपना इतिहास स्वयं बना सकते हैं। इस तरह से हम इस पोयम पर आते हैं। ओके, नाउ far from gusty waves, these children's faces, like ruthless weeds, the air tore round their pallor. The tall girl with her wet down head, a paper swimming boy with rat's eye, the stunted unlucky ear, of twisted bone reciting a father's gnarled disease, his elation from his desk, at back of the dim class, one unnoted sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream, a squirrel's game in tree room other than this. Now here, in the beautiful stanza, the poet has stated the complete plight and difficult condition of the poor children. The children are actually living in the slum area and they have been joining the slum school. ये बच्चे बिल्कुल पुअर एरिया में, स्लम एरिया में रहते हैं और इनका पठन पाठन भी स्लम एरिया में ही होता है। और ये किस तरह से हैं? द पोएट हैज़ स्टेटेड एंड डिस्क्राइब द फिजिकल कंडीशन ऑफ दीज चिल्ड्रन। क्या है? फार फार फ्रॉम गस्टी वेव्स, फार फार फ्रॉम गस्टी वेव्स। नाउ हियर gusty waves, it symbolizes, it means that the better atmosphere, the civilized atmosphere, good citizens, and the faces of these children are far away from such experiences of better environment and better atmosphere and better education and better living standard. Far means far away, far from gusty waves. Now gusty waves का मतलब आपने यही समझा कि अच्छे वातावरण से, अच्छे माहौल से, अच्छे संस्कृति से, अच्छी शिक्षा से, अच्छे रहन सहन से, the faces of the children, they are not facing any day. इनका कभी मुलाकात ही उससे नहीं हो रहा है। यानी कि the children those are living in the cities are facing the gusty waves and they have been enjoying. On the other hand, on the contrary, इसके विपरीत, the children those are living in the slum area are far away from such kind of experience. They are not facing, they are not experiencing better kind of environment, better kind of entertainment, better kind of, best kind of education and anymore. Such things they are devoid of, they are deprived of. वो वंचित हैं किस चीज़ से? तो गस्टी वेव से। हैं? Now next, like ruthless weeds. Now here simile figure of speech. Simile figure of speech is used here. Like ruthless weeds. Rootless weeds. Weeds, that is the grass. That is rootless. The rootless has no importance at all. Are unwanted material of the field, and if they are the rootless weeds, then they are unwanted material for the society. They are unwanted material for society. The hair torn around their pallor, torn around their pallor, over their faces, pallor, over their faces, torn around, scattered. Their hair scattered here and there. Their hairs are not combed. It means they are not facilitated even to comb their hair. Here and there. Mostly you would have seen at the bus stand and railway platform that the little children, when found you pulling your shirt and begging something else, and by another hand just they scratch their head. Now just you see such a poor figure of the child. In the same way, if you visualize the thing, if you see such condition of the little children, you will find the same condition in this poem the poet has described. The air torn around their pallor, that is pallor face. But what complexion of the face was? Pallor, yellowish, because of malnourishment, malnutrition. They are not fed up by proper and nutritious food. They are actually away from proteinous food, and therefore they have been suffering from malnourishment, malnutrition, malnourishment, malnutrition. They are starving, they are hungry, they don't have any hygienic food. Now, the poet is describing, point out the tall girl with her wet down hair, the tall girl with her wet down hair. Here, the poet has been describing about the girl who has been representing almost all the girls of the classroom. Almost all the girls of the classroom. That tall girl with her wet down head. Her head is bowed. Her head is bowed down only because of responsibility, because of poverty, because of different kind of burden and pressure as she is unable to face. So because of this dejection and despair and hopelessness, she has just bent up her head. अपने सिर को झुका के क्लास में बैठी हुई है. अब क्यों क्लास में झुका करके बैठी? क्योंकि उसके ऊपर कुछ बोझ है, कुछ जिम्मेदारियां हैं, कुछ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं और उसे प्रेशर है, उसे गरीबी है, वो बहुत परेशान है. Therefore, she has with her head down, bent her head down. The poet once more points out in the child the paper seeming boy. अब देखिए, paper seeming boy, a metaphor उसने दे दिया. Paper seeming boy, the boy who was looking just as paper, it means very thin. Paper seeming boy, very thin boy. Now with rat's eye, अब देखिए what description has he been given. With rat's eye, the eyes of the paper seeming boy or the very thin boy was bulged out. उसकी आंखें बाहर निकली हुई हैं, just as rat's eye. तो rat's eye क्या है? Rat's eyes are known as searching eyes. Means he has been lacked of, he is not supplied with proper food, sufficient food, proper things. Therefore, he is greedy. He has a temptation for different kinds of things available in the society. Whatever he observes, whatever he thinks here and there, he wants to have it. Therefore, searching eyes. His eyes is just as rat's eye. And paper seeming because of malnourishment, malnutrition, कुपोषण के शिकार हैं. कुपोषण क्या शिकार है, इसलिए वो बहुत दुबला पतला है. और दुबला पतला होने की वजह से और ग्रीडी आइज होने की वजह से हमेशा उसके दिमाग में लालच जैसी चीज़ भरी हुई है. ये मिलता तो खा लेते, ये मिलता तो रख लेते. Like this, the poet has said, when the poet has observed the child, he has just visualized, he has just drawn the clear picture of the child, and then the poet says like this. Yes, of course, you can see it. Whenever you enter in the slum area, you will find, no doubt. You will see how the children's eyes are very greedy eyes, how and what they want to have. And even their parents also teach them to do so. But it is other thing. This is different point from the poem. Here the poem is only the paper seeming boy who has rat's eyes. Now, The poet has to say, another boy, the stunted, unlucky heir of twisted bones. Unlucky heir of twisted bone. Twisted. Just not in a straight, not in a proper manner. Twisted. Here, twisted bones, reciting a father's annulled disease. From where? His lesson from his days. The poet is saying about another child who has been suffering from ailments, disease, and his bone is twisted, and therefore he is a dwarf. His body could not develop, stunted. His body could not develop. Physically growth has been blocked. His physical growth was blocked. Only because of the lack of proper diets, proper nutrition, bituminous food and so on. अगर कोई उसको पर्याप्त कैलोरी नहीं मिल रही है भोजन में तो क्या होगा? उसका प्रॉपर ग्रोथ नहीं होगा, तो स्टंटेड हो जाएगा, यानी कि छोटा रह जाएगा, पूरी फिजिक उसकी अच्छी नहीं हो पाएगी. तो हिज ग्रोथ वाज स्टंटेड, ब्लॉक्ड. ऑन द अदर हैंड हिज बोन इज ट्विस्टेड, टेढ़ा मेढ़ा, जैसे अथराइटिस. ठीक है, तो उसमें हड्डियां टेढ़ी हो जाती हैं, ट्विस्ट कर जाती हैं. नाउ ट्विस्टेड बोन्स, reciting, he has been reciting, he has been reading something, father's gnarled disease. यहाँ आप 2 पॉइंट पा सकते हैं. फादर्स gnarled disease को रिसाइट कर रहा है, इट मीन्स ही हैज बीन स्टडिंग अबाउट द डिजीज फ्रॉम द लेसन, फ्रॉम द बुक दैट ही हैज बीन गिवन एंड द कोर्स दैट इज प्रोवाइडेड टू हिम. He has been reading the same disease as his parents have. जैसे कि आप मान सकते हैं कि आप बायो पढ़ते हैं या फिर साइंस पढ़ते हैं 10th क्लास के स्तर तक, या फिर बायो पढ़ते हैं, तो उसमें डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ डिजीज़ के बारे में बताया गया है. जो लड़का MBBS कर रहा है, जो लड़का कुछ और कर रहा है, तो बायोलॉजी पढ़ रहा है, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि शुगर के बारे में आप नहीं पढ़ते हैं. शुगर के बारे में पढ़ते हैं, ब्लड प्रेशर के बारे में भी पढ़ते हैं, फीवर के बारे में भी पढ़ते हैं, और इस तरह की बीमारियां लगभग अधिकांश घरों में पाई भी जाती हैं. तो इन द सेम वे द चाइल्ड हैज़ बीन रिसाइटिंग द फादर्स gnarled disease. gnarled disease, that is the chronical disease. gnarled disease, that is the chronical disease. ऐसी डिजीज़, ऐसी बीमारी जो काफ़ी दिनों से चलती चली आ रही, क्रॉनिकल कहा जाता है उसे, है ना, उसे क्रॉनिकल कहा जाता है, क्रॉनिकल डिजीज़ है. तो वो gnarled डिजीज़ को रिसाइट कर रहा है. और दूसरे सेंस में अगर हम इसको देखते हैं तो ही हैज़ बीन, द चाइल्ड हैज़ बीन इनहेरिटिंग, ग्रहण कर रहा है क्या? gnarled डिजीज़ ऑफ हिज फादर. ठीक है, ही हैज़ बीन इनहेरिटिंग द gnarled डिजीज़ ऑफ हिज फादर. ठीक है, अनलकी एयर ऑफ ट्विस्टेड वन. Why is the child unlucky? Heir that is the successor. Heir that is successor, उत्तराधिकारी. And unlucky heir, he is unlucky. How can you say that the child is unlucky heir? वो दुर्भाग्यशाली उत्तराधिकारी है, सौभाग्यशाली उत्तराधिकारी नहीं है, दुर्भाग्यशाली उत्तराधिकारी है. कैसे? Now if we compare such a child with the rich children, those are living in the city, they are the lucky heir of their parents. Why? Because they have been receiving, or they have been inheriting the best property, the better property and wealth and health from their parents. On the other hand, on the contrary, इसके विपरीत, the children, those are living in slum area and are poor, are inheriting something different from the city dwellers. So, reciting father's gnarled disease, and that is stunted, unlucky, twisted bones, father's gnarled disease. From where? From his desk. He is stunted, he could not grow, his body could not, his physique was just blocked, he could not grow, वो डेवलप नहीं कर सका, विकसित नहीं हो सका, and unlucky है. Why? Because he is getting only the problems, only the disease, only the ailments, poverty from their parents. Twisted bones, yes, of course, because of malnourishment his bones are twisted, and he has been reciting about the disease of his father from the desk, and also he has inheriting the same thing from his parents. Now the poet has to say about the another child. He says that at back of the dim class, at the back of the dim class, the class is dim. Dim, you know, that there is no electricity supply, or very poor electricity, you can say. The darkness is there. The classroom is dark enough. There is no proper window from where the sunlight may come into the classroom, and also there was no proper electricity supply, so that the class look neat and clean and bright. As far as the paint is concerned, the painting of the classroom was dull in color, faded color. Therefore, the classroom anyhow was not looking bright. Therefore, the poet has used a word dim. Clear? And at the back of the dim class, that is, the poet has been talking about the last row or back bench of the classroom. Now, the poet is just describing, at back of the dim class, one unnoted, who was not cared by anybody else, either by the class teacher or by any other student. He was sitting, sweet and young. Yes, of course, the child of anybody else is sweet, and the child therefore young. The young one, the child, was very sweet. Yes, the child of even the animals, the young one of the animals looks sweet, so as it is human being, no doubt at all. Also he was. The children are very holy and very sweet. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game. In the tree room, other than this, what is going on there in the class at that very moment? He was not paying attention over the class that was going on. So, other than this stands for at present what was going there in the class. He was not paying attention, and the one who was taking the class also was not noticing the last child who was seated in the dim of the class in the back bench. It means, just you see that he was already neglected child. He was neglected child. No one was paying attention about the child. So, here his eyes live in a dream. Then if he was not paying attention what was going there in the class, and no one was noticing about it, that what he is doing, then he finds himself free. And if he is free, he has been dreaming. He has been dreaming. He has been imagining. He has been thinking. The game of squirrel. The game of squirrel. As the squirrels are free and they move freely from here and there, they lives in the cavities of the tree, that is the tree room. Now, actually, it is the elation of the child, it is the desire of the child that he wants a complete freedom, and this is the intention of the poet. Freedom from where? Freedom from his present condition, freedom from his poverty, freedom from the bad environment, freedom from his status. Now, here indirectly we can say that there is a positive sense found in the dream of the child. That how? So, here you have read the first stanza, and now I am going to read the second stanza of this poem. Okay? Unsure Creamwell's donations, Shakespeare's head, cloudless at dawn, civilized dome riding all cities, belled flowery Tyrole's valley, open-handed map, awarding the world its world. And yet, for these children, these windows, not this map, their world, where all their future painted with afar, a narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, caves, and stars of words. As I told you in the very first line, that is far, far from gusty waves, so as this, the far, far from rivers, caves, and stars of words. All these things have been symbolizing the complete development. Means the rivers, caves, better environment, better dwelling, better standard, and stars of words. Stars of words, here the stars are development. Means they are not getting proper education also. Stars of words, as for example, as you see that each word is valued with money, gold, silver, diamond, platinum and everything. एक एक शब्द मोतियों के समान है. तो they are actually stars of words. They are far away from such stars of words. It means they are not getting better education. And caves, that is the agricultural field, you can say. Meadows, you can say. Rivers, now clear rim, clear water, clear atmosphere, cleanliness, they are far away from all these. Now come back once more here. And sure cream walls. As I told you, the classroom was dim in the very first stanza. As I told you that the classroom was dim in the first stanza. Why? I told you that because of no electricity supply, because of no windows at all, and I told you at that very moment that the paint of the classroom was also not showing brightness, it was dull. So sour cream wall, it means the wall of the classroom was not painted with bright paint, and it means the classroom was not taken care of, the school was not taken care of since a long time. काफ़ी दिनों से स्कूल के बारे में रंगाई पुताई या उसका देख रेख नहीं किया गया है, इसलिए तो वाल जो है क्रीम कलर का है, लेकिन शोर मतलब अब डिम दिख रहा है, फेडअप हो गया है, फेड हो गया है, कलर उसका ख़त्म हो गया है, इसलिए किसी प्रकार की कोई शाइनिंग क्लासरूम में नहीं है. दैट कैन क्रिएट अट्रैक्शन देखिए क्लासरूम का बेहतर फर्निश्ड होना बड़ा अच्छा होता है। अगर क्लासरूम सही तरीके से है, साफ़ सुथरा है, पेंट किया हुआ है, हैं, सब कुछ फर्निश्ड है, टेबल डेस्क बेंच सब बेहतर तरीके से है, तो बच्चों को उसमें बैठने का मन करता है और टीचर को पढ़ाने का मन करता है। सभी लोग इसीलिए कहा जाता है कि नीट एंड क्लीन आइए, इसीलिए टाइम में आइए, सॉक्स शूज़ सब पॉलिश वेल मेंटेन हो, तो ऐसे में स्कूल आइए, ऐसा कहा जाता है। इसलिए कि वो दैट इज़ अ पॉइंट ऑफ अट्रैक्शन टू अटेंड द क्लास। तो अब यहाँ सोर क्रीम वॉल है, दैट वाज नॉट गिविंग एनी अट्रैक्शन टू द चिल्ड्रन, देयरफॉर द चिल्ड्रन वर नॉट अट्रैक्टिव फॉर द स्कूल। Donations, as you see that mostly the authorities, rich people, आपने लंगर का नाम सुना होगा कि पंजाबी लोग लंगर दे रहे हैं, गरीबों को खाना खिला रहे हैं, तो दैट इज़ ए काइंड ऑफ डोनेशन, ठीक है। लेकिन यहाँ क्या है, चैरिटी से है। द रिच पीपल whosoever have come any a time now have donated some money, some wealth, some property, something else for the betterment of the school, and their names have been highlighted properly over the walls. The name of the donators have been written one after another, and in the same way the portrait of great personalities, the butts of great personalities have been hanged or adjusted in the classroom or outside the classroom. अब अगर बट्स है, जैसे कि पेडेस्टल पर अगर किसी का फ़ोटो बना है, जैसे आप चौराहे पर जाते हैं तो देखते हैं कि जवाहरलाल नेहरू का फ़ोटो है, सुभाष चंद्र बोस का फ़ोटो है, या फिर फ़ोटो क्या है, मतलब मूर्ति बनी हुई है, आइडोल है, मूर्ति बनी हुई है। तो अब कुछ मूर्तियाँ ऐसी होती हैं बस केवल सीने तक होता है। आप गोरखपुर यूनिवर्सिटी में जाएंगे तो फिर वहाँ पे भी कुछ ऐसी मूर्तियाँ आपको मिलेंगी जो बस केवल यहीं तक बनी है, चेहरा है और ये सीने तक थोड़ी सी बनी हुई है, ये थोड़ा सा बाजू लेकर के यहीं से कट गया, तो ये बट्स कहा जाता है, ठीक है। तो ऐसे शेक्सपियर्स हेड मनी बट्स पे था। क्लाउडलेस एट डान, तो डान पिक्चर जो है मतलब मैप बना हुआ है, वर्ल्ड का मैप बना हुआ है उस दीवार पर, हाँ पिक्चर बना हुआ है। क्लाउडलेस एट डान, बहुत क्लाउडलेस एट डान, डान के समय में वो क्लाउडलेस है, एकदम क्लियर है। सिविलाइज्ड डोम राइडिंग ऑल सिटीज़, civilized dome riding all cities. Now in the map some important points, some important places has been highlighted, that has been highlighted कि ये civilized dome है, in the dome shape, dome shape होता है the dome shape, तो ये civilized dome shape कि मतलब यहाँ अच्छे लोग रहते हैं, ये अच्छा शहर है, like this it has been mentioned, riding all city. For example, Beld, Flowery, these are the name of the places which are very civilized and developed and very remarkable places in the world. Such places have been highlighted. Flowery, Tyrol's Valley, now Mountain Valley, garden, woods and better places, good cities have been highlighted there in the world map. Open-handed map. Now here it is, the map is open-handed. क्यों open-handed का मतलब क्या है? The open-handed map is the designed map on behalf of the order of authority. अथॉरिटी जिस तरह के मैप को कहती है ड्रा करने के लिए, उसी तरह का मैप उस देश में बनाया जाता है, क्षेत्र में बनाया जाता है। तो अथॉरिटी ने ये गुड सिटीज़ को दिखाने के लिए कहा, टाइरोल्स वैली दिखाने के लिए कहा, अच्छे और डेवलप्ड सिटीज़ को दिखाने के लिए कहा, तो वही मैप वहाँ तैयार किया गया है। दैट इज़ बेस्ड ऑन, आप ये कह सकते हैं कि इम्प्रूव्ड मैप, दैट वाज अ इम्प्रूव्ड मैप, एक बनावटी मैप तैयार करके वहाँ लगाया गया था. दैट डिनोट्स द होल एरिया इज डेवलप्ड एरिया. ओपन हैंड में अवॉर्डिंग द वर्ल्ड इट्स वर्ल्ड. अब देखिए यहाँ क्लियर हो गया. अवॉर्डिंग द वर्ल्ड इट्स वर्ल्ड, इट मीन्स seeing the world map in the classroom, on the classroom wall. The children of the slum area should understand that this is the map and this is the world map in which they have been living. This is the world map in which they have been living. Now, and yet for these children, these window, not this map. Actually, this was not the part of such poor children. क्यों भाई? Because these poor children have been living in the slum area, and these poor children, whenever happened to see through the window, they see the slum area to a long distance. It means they are not the resident of this world, they are the resident of slum area, and this slum area has not been shown here in the map anywhere. Where all their futures painted with the park. In which world are they living? They have been living in the slum area. This is their world. Slum area is the world of slum children. Those are reading in the slum school. Now, a narrow street sealed in with a lead sky. With a lead sky. Their future is painted with fog. It means if they have been living in the slum area, there is a lots of burden before them, and the path that is going towards the development has been blocked with the heavy metal, and it is impossible to the poor children to penetrate and break such heavy metal and go ahead and develop. कहने का मतलब है कि उनका भविष्य, उनका फ्यूचर डार्क है और उसमें डिफरेंट ऑब्स्टिकल्स हैं, तमाम प्रकार की बाधाएं हैं, विच दे कैन नॉट ब्रेक. हैं? कब तक ब्रेक नहीं कर? अनटिल दे हैव बीन गिवन बेटर एजुकेशन. अगर उन्हें अच्छी शिक्षा नहीं दी जाती है तो इसे वो ब्रेक नहीं कर सकते हैं. इसलिए उनका फ्यूचर तो पेंटेड विथ फॉग है. फॉग रिफर्स टू द डार्कनेस, that there is no ray of hope to them. यहाँ किसी प्रकार का उन्हें होप नहीं है. तो माय डियर, टुडे आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू एंड माय क्लास, and in my next video, next part, second part, the remaining portions will be taught. Okay, thank you, take care, goodbye.